So I'm assuming you're born in the 80s, but you're coming up in the 90s, right?
Yeah, 88.
Okay. So take us through the eyes of Jonathan Alvarez, right? Young Latino kid walking the streets of Yonkers in the 90s. What are you seeing? Like, what is Yonkers like at this time?
Yonkers is it's kind of mixed, right? So like I bounced from I kind of lived primarily on the Southwest my whole time. But what I truthfully, all I can recall as a young kid, I'm talking about like being 6 to 10, because it was when 10 I started to really go outside and like really flirt with the streets. But at that time, being young, I think everything I remember is my older sister, my older cousins, right? And everything I think of is just hip hop music. I think of I think of Jordans, I think of Uptowns, I think of MTV, BET, right? Like these are the things that us as kids was like kind of still watching or like, listening to. And it kind of just felt like we were free, right? Like, me and my stepbrothers running around and the young kids going to parks, hanging out, just catching wreck, doing a lot of things we shouldn't be doing. So like we felt free. We was in our neighborhood a lot. I can't tell you if I understood what was going on around me at that time, right? Because we was outside having fun as kids, playing manhunt, tag, running around, doing all those things, going to the parks, playing ball. But in terms of culturally, like I think about the music, the way we were dressing, Like, so I wouldn't be able to now tell you when I hit the streets and the things I started to see what it looked like for me then as an early teen. That's like a different experience because now I'm kind of coming into that space differently.
Your level of comprehension at that time started to change. Obviously, you picked up on things more,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
during the earlier days, it's the more innocence of the childhood, right? So, like that element of the environment was still present, but you may not have picked up on it yet.
Exactly. Like the early 2000s is kind of like when I kind of understand that world. Like versus the 90s. Besides the music and things.
How would you describe yourself as a kid, though? Like, were you really into school or just mainly like sports and music?
I was a good kid, man. Like, some people would tell you that was bad, but I was a good kid in my eyes, right? Like, I was a typical kid wilding in school, having fun. I kind of picked up sports early on. First, it was baseball, then it was basketball. Basketball kind of became my love. I was playing a lot of ball in the park. And then music, kind of just with the times, like everybody else was. But me as a kid, I always been curious, asked a lot of questions, always was a good observer, And I think early on, when I think back now, like I always had like a level of leadership in me, where I always was kind of trend setting things on my own and, exploring things on my own as a kid,
But hip hop was a key part of your life early on, though.
Facts.
What made you fall in love with hip hop?
The style, the swag, the gravitas that come with it, right? Like, the thing about us, any person, you influenced by your environment, right? So if this is like the trend of the time and this is what the girls like, right? And then you see the style that the guys are wearing, you tend to like, it's almost you just like by default fall in love with the culture, right? Mm-hmm. Because you want to now become that to get these other things that's alluring you, whether it's the woman, it's the money, the shine, right? Like, just think about the way rappers presented themselves, right? They, looking all like they shining crazy, big chains, jewelry, music. The cars, the clothes.
It was like our superheroes.
Yeah, like they're the ones that we see as success, basically, right? Like we never saw. I might have had some good movies I saw, but I ain't look at that like I want to achieve that. It was what I saw in the music videos. So that kind of pulled us in because we coming from the trenches. So of course that looks real good. You know what I mean?
Right. And what kind of who influenced you as an artist though? Like, which rappers did you gravitate towards?
Damn, that's crazy. I have a nice little group. Well, to be honest, so I should say this just to be told with you, right? While liking hip hop, I also like pop music. I can't even lie to you. It's like a little fun fact, like Backstreet Boys, I ain't gonna hold you. They played a little influential role in my life. But
you was on that real TRL thing. You was watching that, like
yeah. I had a diverse background. Word, nah, it's facts. But Fab, I remember Fabulous early on. I remember Nas. You know what I'm saying? Nas was one of my favorite rappers at one point. Then it became Styles P. You know what I'm saying? I kind of was really jacking Styles P crazy. DMX,
Oh,
Tupac
you got the
crazy.
YO connection then. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Nah, for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the locks. But yeah, like my favorite rappers I really listened to, even Young Buck at one time. I was jacking Young Buck heavy. Um, yeah, I have like a diverse group, but I know early on as a kid, like Nas always like he's always been somebody that I took to. His swag, his intellect.
Anybody ever tell you that you kind of look like you could be related to True Life?
He fun fact is they used to call me True Life when I was in the county. Cause I
Oh,
used to
for
have,
real?
yeah, I had four pigtails. I had four pigtails. They used to either
Right.
call me Baby Jesus or True Life because I had four pigtails. It was the best way to keep my hair, you know, maintained because my hair was long when I was in the county and I didn't know how to braid my hair. Or so it's funny you say that. Yeah, I heard that before.
That's funny, man.